Good morning, Junior 6. I am Miss Fatma Abdelraouf Hamadnallah, and I will be teaching you science this year. I hope you enjoy studying with me. Here we are in Theme 3, titled Change and Stability. And it consists of Unit 3, titled Water, Weather, and Climate. Today, we will start with Concept 2, titled Heat and Weather Changes. Let's start? Before we start our lesson today, I need you to notice these pictures and tell me, what are the causes that lead to this change in weather? One, the density of cold or dry air is greater than that of hot, humid air. So, when a part of the air is heated by the sun, it becomes hot and humid, and when hot, humid air meets cold air, the hot air rises and cools down, causing the water vapor to condense, which leads to rainfall. Okay? How does a meteorologist predict the weather? First, what is meteorology? It is the science of studying and predicting the weather. Who is meteorologist? He is a scientist who uses a variety of tools and instruments to study and forecast the weather, and they collect data and analyze weather changes over long periods of time. Okay? Let's learn this. How do they collect data? Meteorologists use some measuring instruments to measure and predict the weather conditions, such as one thermometer. It is used to measure the temperature. Two, barometer. It is used to measure the atmospheric pressure. Meteorologists use some tools like satellites, airplanes, and weather balloons to carry measuring instruments high into the atmosphere to measure conditions of weather from different altitudes, which known as atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is the amount of force that air exerts on its surroundings, or it is the weight of the air above a certain area. Okay? Satellites and weather stations have devices designed to transmit data from the satellite or station to meteorologists. Meteorologists try to collect a lot of data about air temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, precipitation, humidity, and other weather conditions. What is humidity? It is the measure of how much water vapor is present in the air. Okay? After that, they analyze the data as meteorologists usually use weather maps to collect data from different places and over short periods of time so that they can analyze these data. Mapping data like air temperature, atmospheric pressure, and humidity allows meteorologists to 1. See the important weather conditions, such as the movement of air. 2. Communicate information to other meteorologists and the public. Okay? Mapping data, or mapping measurements, means representing data on a map. Finally, they putting it all together as collecting and analyzing data about the atmosphere is just one part of predicting the weather. Meteorologists also need to observe some other factors that affect the atmosphere, such as landforms, Meteorologists use complex computer models to predict how these different factors will interact. Okay? There is a note about that. Weather forecasts can be uncertain for the next days or weeks, where some small unexpected changes in wind, air temperature, or moisture in the air can affect next week's weather. Okay? But sometimes unexpected and quick changes happen in the weather conditions that make it impossible for meteorologists to predict the weather of the upcoming days. Now, let's study some examples of weather. 1. Climate of the desert. These are some properties of deserts. Rainfalls. Deserts receive about 250 millimeters of rain per year, and this represents the least amount of rain compared to all other biomes. Weather. Deserts are characterized by extreme hot and dry weather, so farmers had to adapt to this climate and work to develop some ways to benefit from the small amount of water. Farmers face a challenge in farming deserts because the extreme hot and dry weather causes evaporation of more water than that which falls by precipitation. Okay? I need you to know how to improve the soil of the desert. Population growth causes more people to live in deserts, so farmers use new ways to make the soil of dry deserts fertile and fruitful. For example, soil. They improve the soil quality. Water. They use new ways to irrigate crops, such as reusing water. Crops. They plant crops that are able to grow in the hot climate and low fertility soil. Energy. They use wind and the sun to power their farms in the desert with wind turbines or solar energy. Okay? Now, let's study the climate of mountains. Mountain ranges in coastal regions often have two sides. A wet side, that facing the coast. A dry side, that is away from the coast. Okay? There is a phenomenon that occurs on both sides of mountain ranges, known as the rain shadow effect. What happens in the rain shadow phenomenon? 1. At the wet side, when hot and humid air encounters or faces the wet side, it rises and cools. So, water vapor in the cold air condenses, leading to precipitation or rainfall. 2. At the dry side, the air descends and becomes warm. This dry air removes moisture from the land, making it arid. Okay? That's all for today. In our next video, we will continue our lesson. To stay updated, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. Goodbye.